started with clapping as we come back here. The Soul Hunter Academy, episode 11. Dorm Cup finale. It's quite something. It's gonna be something special. I'll let the gallery calm down a little bit. I know I'm awesome. I'm amazing. All the storytelling that I give is that of the toppest of tier, 100%. All right, you're struck by lightning. No. So continuing on. Would you guys give a small bit of a recap about last episode?
We fucked over all the other teams in the pool.
We sure did.
And we got a new classmate.
Our professor also single-handedly cleared a room of mimics that we were like running from.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, we
mean-
weakened them quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
And also,
yeah, you're right.
also to be fair, we destroyed the mimic that was creating more mimics.
And Igneos is now paralyzed from the waist down.
And we didn't go visit him.
Well, I've seen him, but other than that, I don't think anyone else has.
We got the news, then we immediately went to dick around with our classmates rather than going to see our paralyzed friend.
Well, you know,
Not like
either-
there's
we could see him anytime we went.
yeah, and it's not like there was much we could do, because we were just thrown into doing the competition.
You weren't thrown in. You could have said no.
Yeah, but fuck the silver.
Yeah,
Well,
Igneos would want us
sounds
to
like a
win
you
this.
choice then.
Igneos would want us to win this.
Yeah, as Igneos has famously said, winners gotta win and losers gotta lose.
Oh, that's what we're going with.
It's really ironic considering he's the one that's paralyzed now.
See myself in a little bit bigger. Too bad they won't see the hat too much. But yeah, pretty much all that really happened in last session was the Dorm Cup truly had started after the redemption of the mimics, aka all of them kind of just getting blasted away somewhat. Someone potentially losing what originally was their bed, and other things amongst just the Dorm Cup actually starting, as we already have on the Dorm Cup tracker that to be of the Rats in first so far, Dark Iron Knights in the second, Natural Talents is third, fourth being that of the Silver Roses, because some people don't like people. Whether that means something or not, who knows? As we will be starting into this race here soon, as as most of the people, aka all the teams, had one kind of side backup person just overall taking their spot at the start of the third course. It's kind of leaves some talking time as I did kind of last time.
So I had mentioned this in the text chat because it didn't occur to me until after the last session, but Glacier would want to go ahead and make a telepathic link with, I believe it was this dude, the one that was rather amiable to when she was trying to be friendly with everyone. The one that's going to be reciprocating. And he does not have to be willing to make the connection. There is no save, but he can end the connection if he so chooses.
Mm-hmm. What would we say?
Hey, so you guys, I don't know, how do I say this politely? You kind of came in last during the last game, or third. You know, in order to make it into the top bracket, you would have to cross first this time, and I just need to not be last, I think we might have a common interest here.
He what's his actually is he a oh okay. You see he looks very kind of confused at first, but this is almost like something he's probably had to experience once or twice himself as he proceeds to try to talk back into his head as he's like, "Hello?"
You don't have to yell. You can just think. Just think what you want me to hear,
Huh?
feel.
So like, talk like this in my head.
Yeah, just like that. That is a lot less yelly.
Hmm. All right. But what are you asking or implying?
Well, I was thinking that maybe we could work together. I could give you a heads up if I reach an event before you. You could give me a heads up if you reach an event before me. And I'm sure some teams are probably thinking about sabotaging people. I'm not, but maybe you make it not me if you were.
You make it sound like as everybody is a cheater.
Well,
Is this not just one of
no.
those cheating tactics right now?
Oh, no, not at all. Here's the thing. I don't really know what's happening here. I kinda just got told I'd be showing up.
Just showing up? You just be like you haven't. Do you do you understand the length of this race?
I can't say I do, but a marathon's pretty long.
Yeah. So it will be basically just out of a lot of running and some obstacles. I don't know if me necessarily telling you an obstacle when I get to it is going to matter too much, and I very highly doubt that you would give me just that type of information, but who knows?
Well, you've got nothing to lose in keeping the link, and if I reach it first, you'll have an answer.
Give me a persuasion check.
Will do. I lost the minimize page for my character sheet. One moment. Yeah, yeah. I do have proficiency, so I'll go ahead and add another d6 to that. Using my side-eye bullshit go.
Interesting.
I do not see where I mark my spent psionic energy dice on my sheet for Foundry. Oh, I found it. I'm blind.
Okay. Also, you guys are at a deadlock. You couldn't tell each other's. You couldn't tell each other's intentions, nor can he really tell your intention. So he kind of just is like, well, I guess we'll see. Wait,
They
that's
sure will leave it at that. I mean, no reason to push.
all right then. On that, I think it would be pretty good for time to be. I'll just do this for better representation. Have Olgar on the outside a little bit there. It's fine. The actually, I think it's just basically time to actually get started with this race. So, as you all proceed to, aka all being that of Gister, this Gilly who's turned into a lion, Olgar who's telepathically linked somewhat, uh, hmm. Trying to see one that I would keys for that. I don't. I'll just add marked. There you go. As you both are telepathically linked, getting ready to get your engine started and proceeding to race into this marathon of somewhat, as everybody else are pretty much away from you guys, as they're somewhat surrounded. Devin in some sort of way or format, as he's basically hosting or holding up the blue orb that's being able to somewhat basically scry on this actual marathon. Case though, I want you to on your character there, Glacier, on your character there, right click it, click on those little, so the little sword and shield.
What did you need to do? Wait, what am I clicking?
When you right click
Do
on
not
your
see a
token,
sword.
you see the swords and shield, the little icon.
Ah,
There you
yes.
go. And now you should be showing up in the, I don't know why it has you as question mark, but you're up in the actual initiative that way. So when you see up on the top right the swords, you should be able to see
Mhm.
everyone's initiative when they get that started. So as I play this music, as I roll their initiative, I would also like you to roll me that initiative.
Let's get it. Um,
Alrighty then. So we kick off this with our lovely homeboy Gister, as he takes on into the fray, into the front, as he to also explain the system a little bit with you on this actual marathon as we're getting into it. The system I have kind of implemented in here is every turn, because I'm assuming you're going to want to try to go your full max movement. Every turn, you pretty much mark on all that movement that you're doing, if that's what you're doing. I will add on to here a rule just for that, of because of multiple people and because of the rule I put in before, I actually didn't state it specifically, but when they said like don't skip the obstacle, that was including in just like teleportation or flying as well.
oh, that's
Though-
unfortunate. That's why we put me here. But okay.
Though everything, well, I mean, other people could potentially do that too, and I'm like, I think that's just too much to handle. But even then, I think it's fair to say you gotta actually get through the obstacle instead of just skipping it. That's not to say though you can't use it for maybe another purpose. That's just for when you get to the obstacles. In either case of that being said though, there's a special rule for when you are going through this. You, including all of these other people, can use an exhaustion once per turn. By gaining that exhaustion, you will be able to go that full movement speed that you just went last turn. Or you could also just gain that or use that in order to gain an advantage on a check during the obstacle courses. With that being the case, though, we're gonna start off with our boy Gister, as I forgot to all their things.
And just for my planning, do we know how long this is in terms of feet? Like, because obviously I know how far I move.
No.
Okay.
You guys have not been told the specifics. It's kind of like, it's almost like, I think I'll say that when you get to it. With
Go
everything
Speed
going on,
Racer.
You're perfectly fine. I'm just going to send my movement stuff into the chat so that it's there for reference later.
Even though Gastair, I had to quickly check something here. Even though Gastair is that of being that of kind of a bigger dude, even though he's got somewhat of his armor off, but he still looks like he chooses to carry a bunch of that armor on. He will be just going his full movement speed. That of being only 60 movement. Only about 60 feet. Oh. Okay. I have something here to actually mark all of them. I'm just making sure I get this right. So, he's just gonna go his full 60 feet with that being his turn.
Aisha is going to move her full 160 feet, and that'll be her turn.
You said you get 10 from the long strider. Am I doing my math wrong here? What's going on?
Yes, 10 from Matt Swap or long strike.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be at 140 and not 160, or am I reading this wrong?
No, because I get to do. It's added to my movement speed. So my movement speed becomes 40, and then I have 4 separate moves. There's my move, there's my dash action, there's cunning action, bonus action, dash. Cunning action, bonus action, dash the second time. So 40, 80, 120, 160.
Okay. Got it. Okay. As you proceed to basically sprint off the lines, not even caring about anyone else, leaving them in the dust, becomes the next person's turn. Olgar, our poor boy Olgar, is just gonna move 60 feet. Yeah. Except he will be choosing to gain that exhaustion, which, one more thing I forgot to mention about the exhaustion. For the purposes of balance for this whole thing, you will not be gaining the debuffs of exhaustion until the end of the race. That being the case, don't die.
You basically
Okay,
get
so-
5 uses of this.
Right. So like if I went to exhaustion 2, I'm not going to start taking the movement speed, right?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
So like if I take myself to the exhaustion point where I would start to take the movement hits, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. When you start getting half speed,
Okay.
no, nobody gets half. No, you'll be getting all your exhaustion at the end. It's
Okay,
just
cool.
I'm gonna be marking it now, just so I can actually.
Gotcha.
This part. But yeah, with that, instead of moving a 60 feet, he'll be moving that total of 120 feet. For Olgar, does he have what it takes? Checking here as I go to the next. It's gonna get a little bit faster as I actually get into this a little bit more as I remember who's on the team. As I'm still a little bit vigilant. Watch National Talent. National Talent. Okay, so with that being of the Lion's turn, Lion's gonna move 50 feet. 50 feet is their normal. They use their stuff to actually go up to 100 feet, while they also will be gaining that of an exhaustion to go 200 feet.
Glacier can catch up in the turn.
Exhaustion. Yeah. The lion's going.
It's moving.
Move it just a little bit more as you see this lion going past you. However, we go back to Gister, as Gister, our poor little lad back there, is going to have to use up his 60 movement, as well as even potentially to try to catch up to use up his actual exhaustion. Up to go at 120. He's really trying to hoof it, and he's trying to prove a point. That becomes a new upper Glacier.
Glacier will just move another 160. We will not use the exhaustion stuff yet.
Yeah, Glacier.
Schmoovin'. The one thing that she's built to do is schmoove.
Yeah, you can catch up to the line as long as you just keep doing your normal movement.
With that being the case, you guys, you're schmoovin'. Still haven't made it quite to obstacle 1, even though I don't have a good representation on the maps, but it's alright. This is somewhat a visual flavor, visual text. But with that, becomes the next person's turn. As we get to once again our lovely man in the sky. Not really in the sky, but Olgar. Olgar would choose to take another exhaustion in order to go 120 feet. That's
Olgar's
the right one.
Olgar's about to fucking die.
He's still trying.
Olgar's trying his best. Okay?
Olgar has disadvantage on ability checks and has his speed halved when he's done with this.
Oh no.
Becomes the
Good
lion's
boy.
turn. Lion getting through it, not caring. They're gonna keep using what they got, as they are going to use another exhaustion to go 200 feet.
You're doing great, Glacier. Keep going.
With that, the lion is the first one to make it to the first obstacle. As you hear a little bit up in the sky, to be that of Devin's voice. I'm trying to get it down again. It seems like they've all made it, at least so far, to the next part. Some people slower than others, of course. But they've made it into the obstacle of the tree of the trees. The trees of I can't give it I can't say it. Paralytic darts. There we go. The trees of paralytic darts.
There's a
Now that
better way to name
he's
your
made
stuff,
it,
Devin.
now that he's made it first, or she's made it first here. I have a question for you personally, Glacier.
Yeah.
Do you, because this is going to apply for everyone, including you, do you want to say, when you get there, you can start to make attempts at the obstacle, or do you want to say, when you get there, that's the end of your turn?
When you get there, you can start your attempts, because we're all running, right? Like, that just makes sense. Although, I guess it also would depend on how much movement you have, right? Like, is 400 the line?
Huh?
Like, I guess it depends on how far the obstacle is. If you're asking me, right? Like, if the obstacle is at 400, then you can't move past it.
That's why I'm not including that. That's why I'm just saying, if you get to that point, do you want to say you guys make an attempt, you guys are able to make the attempts, or that's the turn?
I'll say let's make the attempts. Let's go for it.
All right then. The lion then is the first one to actually make it to the first obstacle, being that of the paralytic darts, as the lion's going to have to make a going to have to make an either athletics or an acrobatics of DC 15 to dodge any potential darts coming their way. See if they got what it takes. No. Now they must make a DC of a 12, or be hits, or sorry, or on a fail, they lose their next turn. Unfortunate, as the lion going into the den immediately in the neck as they're paralyzed for a turn. With that becoming that of Gaster's turn. Seeing as Gaster is still a bit of a ways away. He's not going to. He's just going to go his regular 60 movement speed. Okay. With that being your turn, Glacier.
Glacier is going to move her 160, or until she hits the trap, I guess.
Your movement speed was enough to make it to the obstacle. Now you may make an attempt at the obstacle.
Indeed. You said it was an acrobatics or athletics?
It's an athletics or acrobatics DC check of a 15.
All right, let's get it.
Because there was only one check that you needed to make, you have succeeded in just doing your ninja skills, basically just hopping over darts, matrixing a couple of darts as you make it to the other side of the obstacle. As when you make it to the end of an obstacle, however, that will actually still end your turn.
All right. Glacier will go ahead and call back to Olgar mentally. There's a bunch of darts up here. I don't know if you're far enough back that you didn't hear the announcement or not, but if you get hit, it looks like I don't know. I assume the lion's not dead.
With an announcement, you really think that we need to know or should I even have this link?
I don't know how far back you are. Sorry.
Yo, Ash, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the party. Feel free,
let's go.
feel free to have a seat and see what's going on around here. But yeah, you give him that little warning. Is there anything else you said?
Not at the moment. I think we're in a good place.
Alrighty. Then that next turn. Oh god. Olgar will go. You know what? Olgar still needs to catch up. Give him another exhaustion. 120 feet.
Oh god, no, you're gonna die.
He is committed to this race, even if it costs him his life.
Can we give Olgar advantage on this check and the needs to live?
It's unfortunate because he still doesn't make it.
Olgar, you better succeed on your first try. We believe in you.
All right. Olgar has taken his turn. Lion skips turn but gets back up now. Now comes Gaster. Gaster's gotta catch up too. He's gonna take an exhaustion for 120 of feet.
I like how two of the people have to take exhaustion to not even go as fast as a
Yeah.
what's your face, Glacier?
Everyone other than Glacier has taken the exhaustion.
Sometimes it's just rough like that. All right, Glacier.
Glacier will move 160 feet. Sheesh, move him.
Oh, how long does Long Strider last, by the way?
I think it's an hour, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I'll look it up right now. Long Strider
discuss.
is duration 1 hour.
Okay, that's fine. Make sure we got some.
Hey. Given that we're moving in turns, every turn should be still 6 seconds, right? Or are we skewing that because marathon?
What are you asking?
So,
They're
you
asking
know
if
how
each round is.
You can go ahead. You were about to say the right thing. I didn't want to cut you
Yeah.
off. My bad.
Glacier was asking if each round counts as 6 seconds still because of how D&D rounds work, or if because it's a marathon, the rounds have different lengths.
I'd say that because it's a marathon, because it's the rounds just have somewhat different lengths.
Okay. How long are they? Because I have a bunch of things I have to track timeline-wise.
If you're talking about this whole marathon with the speed that you're going and that everyone's trying to get it done, I would probably say within an hour. Yeah, this whole race would be finished.
Okay, give me one moment, because I forgot to roll this earlier. So my telepathic bond lasts for 4 hours, Long Strider lasts for an hour, and then I had a bardic inspiration that only lasts 10 minutes. Do I still have that?
I thought you instantly used that to try to use your persuasion.
No, that was my psionic energy bullshit. That was a subclass feature. Anytime I make an ability check with an ability that I am proficient in and I do not pass, I can add one of my psionic energy die.
I'll at least say for how this whole setup is, you would lose it if you don't use it next obstacle.
Okay.
Alright, continuing on here. It's not gonna mark that. Okay. Making your way. You're making your way downtown, walking on. We're going to Olgar, as Olgar not needing to take an exhaustion this time as he makes it up to the actual trees, breathing heavily, like as he sees the lion. It's like, oh no. He, with the between the information and the use that he's gonna do with his, at least with his armor, he will be doing this with advantage. So he's gonna get athletics. Oh, didn't even need it. I rolled it wrong anyways, but it is fine. He got the athletics check as he goes by, passes by the darts, everything like that, which will end his turn. However, the only cool thing I'll say is you hear a bunch like tinking as it's coming off the armor that he's wearing. The lion's back up. Unfortunately, they had got knocked out for the last round, but it is fine because they still count as getting past that obstacle as they may start to make their movements. $100 feet, 100, wait, 1,500. Yeah, 100 feet. That turns into 200 feet. As we will take an exhaustion.
Man, these people are gonna have to sleep for 3 days straight.
For real.
Meanwhile, Glacier's just moving.
Depending on how much exhaustion they use, you might have to use one.
Oh, I was planning on just going until probably obstacle 3 and then using all of them.
Ah, that's fair.
There.
Obstacle 3 is where the rest of the other people are, so that is
Oh,
a good idea.
actually,
Keep it until
the
after.
l- I don't know how. That's kind of funny though. 100 to the 100 feet, turning into 200 feet because of the exhaustion. He actually will make, or sorry, she will actually make it to the next obstacle, which I didn't represent it that well. Here we go. As she will actually make it to the next obstacle, and as we said per se the rule before, she would get her attempt. Except making it to the third obstacle, it's almost kind of like a baton pass, as now she gets to take her breather. She's done her job, as it's now up to the rest of the game, aka
Did we skip the second challenge?
did we skip this? We are not at the third.
Yeah, we
skipped the second one.
Yeah,
we skipped.
never did
We
the
we
second
just
one.
passed the tree line, which was the first challenge.
Yeah, sorry. No, we're at the second challenge. She made it to the second challenge, not the third one. I skipped it. Still, with that being said, as they've gotten there, they're going to attempt to do something here, aka, as I actually explained now, as once again, one of the next contestants, aka the one that got to the obstacle from last time, makes it to that of the expert wall climbers. As you see, as you will all kind of somewhat see, as it looks like that of a giant kind of like wall that's kind of like been made to be in the way, except this wall, outside of it being not too much space to go onto all the rocks indebted in there to climb on, making that to be a rock climbing challenge. It's also moving all about, and I mean the rock sticking out from the rock. So it's going to take some expertise and finesse to potentially get through it. As with that, not thinking that she'll be able to, not thinking that she'll able to make it through with the elegance of that of a lion, she will actually turn into that of a cat. I don't have, I don't have a thing for it, but there's your cat.
Amazing.
Wow, she can wild shape from one animal to a different animal without unwild shape.
She's a little bit of a special cookie.
I mean, if she's a circle of the moon, she can use a bonus action to unwild shape.
I'll just tell you there's somewhat of a different reason for it. Yeah.
Probably your soul ability.
Probably.
As she's turned into that of a cat, she's going to proceed to, on the walls, pretty much just try to start kind of jumping onto them one at a time, making her way. Unfortunately for this though, this will take a couple of checks. To climb this wall, as that's going to be what she's going to have to do now. We'll start with a sleight of hand check to see about actually getting your hands in the right places. Unfortunately,
Too bad she
will
doesn't
get
have
a
that.
disadvantage then on her athletics slash acrobatics check. There we go.
She does not have hands as a cat.
Oh, but she's got paws with disadvantage. That does mark her with that of one success. With that still, though, being her needing to get still more successes to get through, that'll be the end of that turn. As we'll also mark this. There we go. Just there. Gaster doesn't take too much left for Gaster to get to where he needs to go. He's finally gotten to the first obstacle, as he's gonna have to get through this obstacle, being that of making a athletics / acrobatics. Athletics, way better. DC was 15, so he does get through it. That being Glacier's turn.
Glacier will move another 160 feet.
You have made it to the next obstacle.
Let's get it. Alright, you said sleight of hand first?
Yep, a sleight of hand. Depending on what number you get, is the dependent if you get advantage, disadvantage, or normal.
22.
That is an advantage. So now you need to make your athletics or acrobatics check.
27.
Fantastic. As you're starting to already blitz through what you know you need to do, that creates for you 1 success as we go to the next person.
Huzzah.
My boy.
Oh, I forgot as well. Glacier will call out a warning back to Olgar. There's this wall thing, it's moving. I hope you can climb.
What the fuck does that mean?
It's like a wall, except that the parts of the wall are moving. I don't know how better to tell you.
Just think of Harry Potter.
He's going to use his movement speed to do that. It's not 60 feet.
You're gonna use. You're gonna be at 4 levels of exhaustion.
Hell yeah, he is.
The sad thing is, even at 4 levels, I don't think he makes it, because my 160 didn't get me here.
No, he got 120, so he's trucking it, you know. As
And
as we go on to the
he's
next.
about to actually die.
Everyone else is about to collapse, and Glacier is just over here running.
Yeah, everyone is using exhaustion and Glacier's just chilling.
Yeah, it's crazy though, because she's gonna end up being in front of everyone. At the very end, if they see the finish line, they can just teleport.
Okay, it's time for the cat.
Yeah.
It's time for the cat to keep doing what they're doing. Sleight of hand.
Come on, Cat. You gotta fail.
They got.
That's caught.
We got. They got normal.
Oh, question, by the way, Natsu. You had mentioned that the third obstacle is basically a baton pass. Does that mean I don't have to do it since I'm not passing a baton?
What? No.
No.
No. It's they're pretty much baton passing. There's still a third obstacle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
they're passing the baton at the third obstacle, but they still need to pass the third obstacle after they baton pass it, and that's a nat one.
We got you. Big.
Yikes! As they get that one, that will reset their progress.
Yeah, baby. I still want the Silver Roses to be 4th, but it's just amazing.
No.
Right now they are.
Unless even if Gaster takes
120 feet, give his man exhaustion.
and he's not even at the obstacle.
Jesus.
They chose
God.
runners who are wearing heavy armor. Like what?
Yeah, why did they choose him as the runner instead of the person who can fly?
Takes like an hour to take armor off, okay?
Exactly.
He didn't have
Yeah.
that
We
time.
didn't have to wear.
Exactly. You don't got time to take off armor.
Yeah.
That's an advantage.
It's 20 on the
No,
sleight
wait,
of
no,
hand.
no, that's normal. So
That's
it'll be,
normal. That's 20.
It'll be whatever's the
Bad.
first number, which is still the 18, so you're fine. But yeah, it's 21 and up is advantage. 1 through 10 is disadvantage.
Cool.
So that's a second success for Glacier.
Yes. Thankfully, for Glacier, it'll only have to make one more. Maybe.
Ah, that's so many checks.
And there's two people who aren't even here
okay,
yet.
before you
That's
say so many
crazy.
checks, you're wall climbing on something where all the rocks are moving around.
We need to get Glacier a climb. We need to get Glacier a climb speed.
I'm just saying, don't blame me.
I should have gave her jump as well.
We are blaming you. You're the one who made the challenges.
You're the one that only put one person in. I don't know what to tell you.
Look, we're doing great, guys. We're 2 checks in. We're okay.
You're the only person that's going up the hill right now. Getting
Please
flying.
don't use a 5th level of exhaustion. Please, no.
We're about to make it to the obstacle.
Does he have to use a 5th to get to the fucking obstacle?
I'd be so sad.
Pick the wrong guy to communicate to.
Listen, he was the friendly one.
Yeah, it's
Lion
not as
Chick
if
is
he's
the one
been.
that was being a
Well,
bitch
hey,
about
you might be able to do a mind link with their partner, and then he'll be able to be like, "Hey, this person's nice." If you happen to be in front of them, which you're not gonna be,
Yeah,
give them
they're
help.
going to, they're gonna use their. They're gonna use their 60 feet as normal and pass that turn.
Ah,
Oh no.
The cat, it wants vengeance, aka it's gonna go back up onto the onto the things. Let's see if it can make any of these checks for once. Sleight of hand.
It's so sad. They're so well equipped to do this, and yet they're not.
why didn't they just change into something that had a climb speed?
Unfortunately, that is not a success.
Oh,
God,
This-
the
this
natural
cat
talents
is-
really aren't. The natural talents really don't have any sort of talent, do they?
No, they're a cat. Leave them alone.
Yeah, but they could have transformed into something that had a climb speed.
Or fly.
Or a
speed.
druid.
I'm just
fly
saying. My character that turns into a cat and is a druid is great at being a cat. They cast Pass Without Trace and then turn into a cat.
Does Gistair make it?
Also, while you're saying someone with a climb speed, you do know that a cat has a climb speed, right?
Doesn't.
20 feet.
30 feet.
Oh, really?
Their movement speed is a cat's movement speed is
Oh.
40 feet.
Huh.
Interesting.
I did
I
not
thought
know
they
that
had
a cat had climb
Only had a
speed.
20 one.
I'm surprised that's not helping them at all with this.
I wasn't gonna help anybody because I told you climbing by itself, cool and all, it's good. However, again, don't know how that's gonna help you with the moving rocks.
Fair.
Gistair, my boy Gistair, will you make it?
He's trying.
He's gotta do
He's
it.
he's really trying out there.
He's gotta do it.
Man, these
He's
people
made
gonna
it
have
to
to
the-
sleep for
he's made it
5.
to the third obstacle. Not the third, the second obstacle.
These people gonna have to sleep for 5 days straight.
That's crazy.
They are all trying their best.
Might-
They want to win, bro.
Glacier, you might just be fine not using any fucking exhaustion.
That is
Unfortunately,
absolutely
as I start
fine.
rolling for Gistair here. Not the most proficient. Yep.
Am I ever glad that I didn't put myself as part of this?
Oh, but he did
Yo,
it.
with disadvantage, he got the 15. That's a success.
Yo, I shouldn't be applauding him, but to be fair, he's like the only other person other than Glacier who has a success.
Glacier, let's see it.
Indeed.
Do that sleight of
Well,
hand. When do you get reliable talent? Is that like level 10?
It's. I don't know. That is a 22.
Hey,
Disadvantage.
you have advantage. Yeah, Glacier!
All right, Glacier, you have gotten to the top. Which upon this completion, give me a sleight of hand to go down the hempen rope.
Oh, give me 1